Okay, today we're going to be talking about double stops. Double stops are nothing more than playing two notes at once, but super effective for doing things like harmonizing with yourself or just getting the guitar to create some tones and some sounds that you might not have thought of before or have played before through single notes. So some examples of double stops are done in blues and then also diatonically, like with the major scale. And both have a different sound, but you've heard this sound before, like I'm throwing a slide in there, but the whole idea is that I'm hitting two notes at once. So in this case here, I'm hitting the 5th fret of strings 1 and 2. And so this was an old Chuck Berry lick. He would do this. And whether you're muting them or holding them out like this, it doesn't matter. The whole idea of a double stop is it's two notes at once. Okay? And in the blues scale, there's a lot of places that we can do this. You just have to look at your pentatonic scale or your blues scale and see which two notes are right next to each other. Now, they don't necessarily have to be harmonic sounding. They can be a little bit more dissonant. You can take other notes that aren't necessarily in the scale. So in that case, I'm playing the blues scale, but this note is not in the blues scale, or our traditional A blues scale. I was throwing that note in there. So you don't necessarily have to stick within the scale. You can try some other notes, but a good rule of thumb is to try to stick with the scale notes first. So some common blues double stops would be a lot of these in the first finger that just fall right underneath the first finger. So like or in strings 2 and 3. And right down the line. You don't have to slide into these. I'm just doing it because it always sounds nice with double stops. But you can hear where all of these have their own sound. You can also do several double stops in a row as if you were playing a lead. So instead of me going like I could play something like now that sounds very Eastern or Chinese, or the reason that is because we're using the pentatonic scale, and the Asian culture uses the pentatonic scale a lot, but that's why you're hearing that sound. Okay, so those are typical blues types double stops. Experiment a bunch with them because they're super fun. Another really cool thing you can do with double stops is you can harmonize with yourself. So when we speak of the word harmony, we mean notes that sound well together. So it's kind of a loose interpretation, but we're talking about notes that sound well together. Typically, when we're harmonizing notes, we want to grab either the 3rd or the 5th note, I should say the 3rd or the 5th scale note or scale degree above whatever note it is that we're wanting to harmonize with. So for instance, let's say we're playing we're in the G major scale, so you can use the attached PDF to this video. So we're playing G major, and we have all these different forms going up the neck. And if we were, let's say, in this form, the one that's at the 7th fret, then we have that bit. Well, whatever note that it is that we're playing, if we play 3 notes, or if we play actually 2 notes above that specific note, then we'll have the harmony. So for instance, if this is the note that I want to have harmonized, I would go here and here, and then those notes would sound nice together. Okay? So if I wanted this note to have a harmony, then I would play this. And I want the harmony note, I'm going to skip one and go to the next. So you could think of it as whatever note that you're playing, skip a note and go to the next note. Okay? And so what can I do with that? I can play melodies, but with a harmony. Now I'm just doing that all on the first and second string, but you can do that anywhere. Okay, so that's playing them more diatonically within the scale, but those are double stops. That gives you a brief overview, if you will. Experiment with this. You don't have to, again, use the notes in the scale, but best if you do. All right, let's keep going.